The tellers agree in their tallies that the total number of votes cast is 432, of which the Honorable Jim Jordan of the state of Ohio has received 200 votes. The Honorable Hakeem Jeffries of the state of New York has received 212 votes.
As I've said, which is, if for the 16 years that Jim Jordan has been in Congress, okay, I would like to go over right now all of his legislative accomplishments. I want to list them one by one. I'm going to start right now. I'm finished.
Congressmember Moskowitz, welcome. And what did we just observe? What went down? Where does it go from here?
Well, more of the same. More of the same, which is we still don't have a speaker. And my colleagues across the aisle are in complete disarray. When I was advocating that we should have Jordans in the House of Representatives, I was talking about the sneaker, not potentially a Speaker Jordan. And it looks like the Republicans agree with me. It looks like a Speaker Jordan right now is not on the list. But it is fascinating. It is fascinating to watch them not be able to complete this process. The American people gave them the House. They said, we want you in charge in the last election. And boy, they have spent 9 months convincing the American people that they do much better in the minority.
You were on the floor as the vote was taking place. As we were watching it live on the MeidasTouch network, we heard some audible gasps and moments where it seems that the Republicans were even surprised of certain people who were not voting for Jim Jordan.
That's all digital. We just push a button and it makes the noise and ooh. It's all synthesizers.
Was there zero planning? Did they not know it was going to go down? Like, how do you go in with such disarray and make an utter mockery, not just of their own party, but the reality is it's a stain on our democracy in general.
Have you not been watching the last 9 months? I know you have. I know you've been watching it. When we say how could they do it? They've been doing it for 9 months. I mean, these guys couldn't elect a speaker in their first couple of days in power. Then they remove the guy. They can't run an impeachment hearing because they're impeaching a president for nothing, or trying to, perhaps. Everything they've done, they tried to close the government. Democrats had to keep it open. They tried to default on the deficit, something that has never happened in the history of this country. Democrats had to stop them from doing that. And now it'll probably be Democrats once again trying to get the U.S. House of Representatives open so that we can help our ally Israel, we can help out folks in Ukraine, and we can keep the government from shutting down again, which is now only 30 days away. So look, this is exactly what we've been seeing, which is they are just a total and utter disaster. It's good that the government is open, because at this point, I think they need FEMA's help. I think they're going to need FEMA to come in and just clean this up for them.
So what happens next? What are they doing? What are Democrats doing?
Sure.
What should we?
They're going to go meet. They're going to go meet. There's a room like literally right across from my office, big conference room in the Ways and Means committee room. They're going to go meet in there. They're probably going to, squeeze some people, get that number down from 20 to something, and then probably bring us back out for a second round to figure out where they sit. The real question will be is how many people said they'll vote for Jim Jordan on the first ballot, but won't vote for him on the second ballot. So every vote they pick up, they could be bleeding another vote somewhere else. So my guess is we'll see another round of voting in the afternoon to figure out where they are. And they're gonna have right-wing media go after these people. They're gonna go have right-wing Twitter and Truth Social go after these people. They're going to try to squeeze them by saying they'll get primaried. And then we got to figure out where the numbers truly lie. And that will tell us whether this is going to go on for a couple of days and they're going to try to make it happen, or if Jordan's going to step aside.
Just how dangerous would Jim Jordan be as Speaker of the House? You're a solution-oriented member of Congress who's willing to roll up his sleeves to try to make deals for the benefit of the American people. How problematic is Jim Jordan in trying to achieve solutions to Americans' problems?
Well, the only solution I've ever seen Jim Jordan solve was trying to keep Donald Trump as president after he lost the election, right? That was the only thing I think Jim Jordan has really tried to accomplish, which was to steal an election in this country by being the point man for Donald Trump in the House. After Trump lost, he lost the election, right? It was well known then. It's well known now. He was the point guy for trying to steal it, for trying to deny the American people, to try to deny the states and all the electors. And so, look, as I've said, which is, if for the 16 years that Jim Jordan has been in Congress, okay, I would like to go over right now all of his legislative accomplishments. I want to list them one by one. I'm going to start right now. I'm finished.
Kevin McCarthy is blaming Democrats for what went down. What's your response to Kevin McCarthy?
Well, look, he's gone to the podium and he's called out the Republican members that all voted against him. So he's done that piece, right? So now obviously he's got to blame the Democrats because that's a good talking point, rather than the civil war infighting that's going on with the Republicans. But look, Kevin knows he made a deal with Republicans. Republicans were the ones who voted for that rule, meaning the one member vote to file that, to make that motion. Democrats voted against that rule. So Republicans voted for that rule with Kevin McCarthy's blessing. That was the deal to become speaker. And then Republicans were the one who made the motion to vacate the chair, not Democrats. And so, look, Kevin knew that Democrats don't vote for Republican speakers and Republicans don't vote for Democratic speakers. I mean, how many Republican votes would Nancy Pelosi had if AOC had made the motion to get rid of Nancy Pelosi, right? How many Republicans would be like, we got to save Nancy, got to save her. Okay, it would have never happened. Okay, but now they're trying to install, Jim Jordan here, right? So, Matt Gaetz removes Kevin McCarthy. They try to install Jim Jordan. That would be like, I don't know, Cory Bush getting rid of, Nancy Pelosi and making Ilhan Omar the speaker. I mean, that's what's going on the right. I mean, these are things that never happened in Democratic politics because we had unity. We didn't go after each other. Nancy was able to represent everybody, progressives, moderates, and everyone on all sides of the Democratic aisle. But the Republicans are a disaster. Donald Trump meant to say over the weekend that Republicans are eating their own. Instead, Donald Trump said Republicans are eating their young, which I don't really want more information onto that. But he doubled down. He goes, Republicans are eating their young. They really are. The word delicious, I felt, was about to come up on screen.
Oh, man. And are Democrats willing, able, ready? We heard Akima Jeffries talk about this before, able to try to cut some deal in the best interest of our country? Obviously not with Jim Jordan, but some moderates to the extent that exists on the side.
Listen, I'm willing at this juncture to give Pro Tem McHenry additional powers for a 30-day period so that we can keep the government open. We can pass the Israel resolution, pass any packages that President Biden requests that, work their way through the Senate, and that we can do, obviously, the people's work in the House for the next 30 days to give my Republican colleagues some time to figure out this mess on their own. That's what I'm willing to do. I'm not involved or aware of all sorts of other negotiations that might be going on, but Democrats are prepared to get the U.S. House of Representatives open so that it can be working for the American people. We can be sending a strong message to our allies and a message, obviously, to our adversaries that democracy works, which is something the Republicans are trying to put out the opposite message on that the House is broken. And the truth is the House is not broken. The House is only broken on their side because they just crave so greatly to be back in the minority again.
Congressman, any final words? I know it's a busy day there. It's not like there's just been a historic vote to, again, not elect a Speaker of the House.
Yeah,
Any final words out there?
Stay tuned. If you were watching for Failure Theater, earlier, there'll be the return of Failure Theater is coming back this afternoon. If you enjoy watching them fail, you'll really enjoy it in the afternoon. Get some coffee and some tea. Because look, he's not going to go from losing 20 votes to becoming Speaker of the House. So we're just going to have to see on what the journey is. So tune in to the later afternoon episode if they were to call votes again on Jim Jordan. Well, cheers to that, Congressmember Jared Moskowitz. I got my Starbucks. I like my coffee a little more bitter. I love it. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks for all the work you do for our democracy. Thanks, guys. Hey, Meidas Mighty. Love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram @MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.